Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ryan O'Rear and this is my lovely wife, Dr. Megan O'Rear. We're both travel physical therapists and we just kind of want to welcome you in to really our first educational video here on Joint Movement DPTs.
Yeah, we thought if we could put together some videos of travel therapy, just to get some education out there to make the process easier for you, just of figuring out, do I even want to do this? And if you do want to do it, what are all of the steps? What are all of the things you need to think through to be prepared for it? He did a lot of that work on the front end, and it was a lot of research. And so we thought, if we could help in any way to just condense it down for those people who like steps like me, we thought we would love to do that for you. So hopefully these are helpful in the future, and this is number one.
Yeah, so again, we just want to welcome you in to our first educational video. And what we're going over today is, what is travel therapy?
So to define travel therapy, specifically travel physical therapy, because that's what us two are, in its simplest form, it's contract work at a location that needs some extra personnel. They're low staffed or they have high demand. Something going on like that.
Or they're looking for a permanent physical therapist to go there, and they might be in more of a rural community, and so they just haven't gotten anyone yet.
So typically travel assignments are 13 weeks long, but they can be up to 6 months, maybe even more. Right now, we're in a 13-week contract, and your contracts can be in all different types of settings. They can be in the hospital, they can be in outpatient, they can be in skilled nursing facilities, all different types, home health. Right now, Ryan is doing home health in the county that we're staying in. And I am in an outpatient setting, but I also do about 20% acute care. So it can also be a mix. Just like you would find looking for permanent positions. You also have the possibility to travel in all 50 states, depending on what's available, which is really cool. It's a very neat way to go see the country. So right now we're here in Montana, and we can go anywhere from here. But what's nice is that you kind of have a choice of what contract you take. So there's nobody out there telling you you have to go from Montana to Florida and you have no choice, because that would be a long trek. We're travel physical therapists, so we know the most about travel therapy in general, but all different types of professions can travel. Other therapists like speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapy assistants, and occupational therapy assistants also travel. But even outside of that, nurses and doctors travel. We just know the most about physical therapy, so that's what we're going to kind of hone in on. But a lot of this can apply to all of the therapy professions, and even outside of that to nursing and doctors.
So that kind of sums up just a basic definition of what travel therapy is. So with that being said, what does travel physical therapy mean to us? And I think one of the big things is adventure. And so we get to go across the United States and live in different places for about 3 months, and we find that really cool. We can go exploring. We love all the outdoor stuff like hiking, mountain biking, seeing waterfalls. It's endless. This beautiful country, there's just so much to see, and we really love the adventure side of travel therapy and what that gives us. We get to meet new people with different backgrounds and experiences. We get to learn from other physical therapists in different hospitals and outpatient clinics, and we find that really valuable.
You also can learn about the continuum of care for patients. Because you're in so many settings, potentially, you're learning about what does therapy look like in outpatient, or what does it look like in acute, and where should I recommend this patient to discharge to? If you have experience in a long-term care facility or some other extended acute care, you know what that looks like. So it gives you a better idea of how to take care of your patients, which is really cool.
You get to learn about the different styles of physical therapy depending on where you're at, which region of the United States. People do things differently. They have their own techniques. They choose to do certain things and they choose not to do certain things. And you get to, we get that opportunity, which we love, to just absorb all that information and then give it back to our patients depending where we're at.
Another thing that travel physical therapy means to us is flexibility. Generally, you have your own choice as to where you go next, and you have a choice of when you go. You can choose to do contracts back to back to back so that you have no gap time and really aim for that so you maximize your working potential throughout the 52 weeks in a year. But you could also choose to take a week or two off in between contracts if that's something that you want to do. There's a lot of flexibility. And depending on what's available around the country, you can also choose your location. Like I said, nobody's telling you that you have to go somewhere. Another thing that most people probably won't say about travel physical therapy, that we do say, is that it gives us a sense of security. Which is weird. Not a lot of people think that, but the reason that we say travel physical therapy means security to us is because by pursuing it, we're able to pursue our dreams of seeing the country, our financial goals for our future and for our family. And we also see that travel physical therapy gives us a lot of opportunity, and if for any reason it went wrong or we needed to go back home, there's always permanent positions available back home. So the risk that we're taking really isn't that large, and it just seems worth it to us to be able to pursue all of our dreams, expedite our dreams, and not really take that big of a risk.
And like Megan was saying, the risk to us is pretty low because we knew when we went into our first contract, we had 13 weeks. It was a 13-week assignment, and if we don't like it, we could just go home. And so that's really, really awesome for us. Yeah. It's a win-win in our book. So that's what travel physical therapy means to us. And here's our list of pros and cons that you should consider if you're looking into travel physical therapy. And so we'll start with the pros first. So one of the pros, which we've already mentioned, is you get to work in a variety of settings. You make more money. And so you make more money than most permanent positions, especially if you're a new grad. Mm-hmm. That was what our situation was.
And I think this influenced us a lot. Physical therapy as a profession switched over to a doctorate so that you become a doctor of physical therapy. And while we do think that that is good for the profession, it also dumps on more student debt. And for us two to both have that, it's a little overwhelming. So this is a good option for new grad physical therapists who are coming out of school feeling like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get out from under all of this student debt? And so that really is a large motivating factor for us. Not only do we see all of these other benefits, but we see the benefits that we can be financially smart for our future by doing travel physical therapy now.
And one of the big reasons why you make more money doing travel physical therapy is because of the possibility of tax-free stipends or per diems. And that looks like, a travel stipend, a food stipend, a housing stipend, and all of those can be tax-free income to you if you follow certain rules with your tax home, and there's some other tax legal things that you need to follow. And we hope to do a video on that. We're not tax professionals, but it's a big part in making a little bit more money. Mm-hmm. You get to make friends in different parts of the country. We've already met so many people here in Montana, and we do value their friendship, and now we get to have that in our lives, and we wouldn't have that opportunity if we didn't do travel therapy. You get to join an amazing community of traveling health professions. And so when we first started out, we made our Joint Movement DPT's Instagram, and we were welcomed by so many other travelers, traveling nurses, traveling physical therapists, traveling OTs, so many just kind of brought us in. It's such a great community, and we want to be that for you guys if you're looking into travel therapy. So reach out to us, follow us. We love that community feel.
Yeah, and there's a lot of get-togethers that are hosted, especially if you go to big conferences. Normally there's a traveling group of people that all get together. And we met some amazing friends at a conference that way that we now have hung out with in real life, and we consider friends, and they've helped us on our journey to figure out this whole process. So yeah, just another perk. On the flip side of the pros, there's always the cons, always something to consider, to balance and weigh out. One of the cons is that there's constant change. You're moving every 13 weeks, maybe a little bit more. Still, it's a lot of change, it's a lot to catch on to, a lot to learn. You have to leave the people that you met and go start over in a new town.
Yeah.
So
starting a new job, which that always has certain anxiety built into it. So just a lot of constant change. So if you're a person that really doesn't handle change well and feel like you can't conquer that, then I would definitely...
something to consider.
Yeah, something to consider.
You also have the possibility of landing in an undesirable clinic, one that has bad policy, is not running their business ethically, and you end up smack dab in the middle of it. That's why it's really, really important to find good recruiters that are recommended by other travelers, ones that prioritize your experience. Your license could be on the line. They're prioritizing that over filling jobs and making money for themselves. So we would love to be a resource for you. We've worked with a lot of recruiters already, but there's some really great ones out there. So you want to avoid landing at one of those places. There's tons of other places where they had somebody go on maternity leave. They're a small town that can't keep people permanently. Tons of jobs that are open for permanent positions and they just can't fill it in time. And those are generally your better ones to shoot for.
Yeah. So if you need a travel recruiter recommendation, we would love to do that for you guys. I'll put our email down, or you can direct message us on Instagram. But we'd love to share the names of some of our recruiters that we've used and we've vetted and feel confident in.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. Another con is that your contract could get canceled. And so you go into some of these places, most of them are looking for a permanent physical therapist or occupational therapist. And while you're there on your contract, they might hire someone. And when that happens, there's a possibility, not always, it's rare, but there's a possibility that they could cancel your contract, cut it short. Now, typically in your contract, there'll be a clause where, they have to give you a 14 to 30-day notice, which is always important to read the fine print for that. But that is a con. And then our last con is FOMO, the fear of missing out. And this is probably our biggest con. And so with travel therapy, you might be states away, and it isn't always easy to come back for the birthday party or for the family gathering. And so we miss family. We don't want to miss those important events with them. And so that's always a big challenge for us.
Yeah, that was the hardest part about deciding to travel, but it's good. That's why it's good to have your goals, be intentional about what your goals are and why you would travel and how travel helps you achieve your goals. Because knowing that and seeing the big picture, seeing that travel may give us extra flexibility as we start a family, which means we could spend more time with our loved ones that we really, really care about and that we hate being away from. So that's the big picture. That's how we've combated the fear of missing out with our family.
So I hope this video gave you a better understanding of what travel physical therapy is. And if you're interested in learning more, a simple thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. We plan to put out hopefully more educational videos for you guys. If you have a specific question, feel free to comment below. And you never know, we might make a video because you commented a question. And so we love to be a resource. That's our whole goal with this. You can also follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Joint Movement DPTs. We have some links down in our description that you can click. go on there, follow us. By subscribing to our YouTube channel, then you'll also kind of get to see what we're doing when we release our videos on Sunday, which right now we're in season 1 of YouTube for us.
Super fun.
Yeah, being in Montana, and that's kind of more of our vlog videos where we get to share, the fun adventure side of travel therapy, the cool opportunities that you get to go adventure around the area that you have the contract in. And so follow along with us in that journey.
So again, if you're looking to get into travel physical therapy or any travel profession, just give us an email, give us a message on Instagram, and we can talk to you and see what your specific needs and desires are for travel. And we can try to recommend some of our favorites to you. So don't forget to do that if you're looking into it. And until next time,
See ya!
What's travel therapy, y'all? What is it?